And welcome to Bill Bailey Stadium in Goddard Field on the campus of Alcoa High School for round one of the TSSAA state playoffs as the visiting Wildcats of Sweetwater come to Alcoa to take on the top-ranked and undefeated Tornadoes. This is John Morgan along with Lane Gerhardt here to bring you the call. As Lane, Sweetwater, generally a traditional opponent on the Alcoa schedule, with reclassification and shifting of districts, they're now in a different district, but fate has brought us together again.
Yeah, brought us together again, and we'll mention right now tonight's a homecoming for their head coach, Richie Marsh. Richie Marsh, Alcoa alumni, son of David and Sonia, outstanding player in his own right when he was at Alcoa, and he's gone down there to Sweetwater and taken a program that hadn't been in the playoffs since 2007, and in his first year there he's added 3 wins to their record and brought them back into the playoffs. A little bit of a tough baptism getting back into the playoffs, having to travel up here to play Alcoa.
Yeah.
But c'est la guerre. I mean, you know, you play, the system kicks out who you're going to play, and you play them.
Yep.
I would like to point out before we go too much further, as we watch the snap getting ready to, I mean, not the snap, the toss getting ready to take place. As those of you in attendance tonight know, we're no longer in charge. TSSAA is in charge. They set the fees and they collect the gate and a whole bunch of stuff. Well, one of the things that happens is that in order to have this game on the air during the week on Channel 3 for all the local people who want to see it again or didn't have a chance to get out here, we have to pay them a fee. And we didn't find out about that till just late in the week. And at this point in time, I would like to thank Champion Fence Company, Joe and Marty Keefe of Champion Fence Company. Champion Fence has been a sponsor, sign sponsor, program sponsor for Alcoa. They have stepped up to sponsor half of the game tonight. And Alcoa Tornado TV Channel 3 has stepped up to sponsor the second half. Now, we got 3 more playoff games that we will do this, and then we can't do it no matter what in the championship game. But anyone out there who might be interested in being a half a sponsor, a co-sponsor, one of those other 3 games,
Or a whole sponsor,
just you can give broadcast coordinator
Dream
Debbie,
big, Lane.
Yeah, you can give broadcast coordinator Debbie West a call at 755-4761. For more information, and I can tell you this, it's a reasonable fee. I think it's a good deal for the people who like to watch Alcoa football.
And to hear the name of your company mentioned by Lane in his baritone pear-shaped tones.
Absolutely. It's just that alone is worth the fee because it didn't have much. But so we'll be mentioning and thanking Champion Fence and Tornado TV throughout the night. But other business people out there might be interested. I'll give you that number again, and we'll probably have it on a crawl.
We'll give it to you several times throughout the night, and I'll put it out on Twitter as well.
We'll have it on a crawl, and we'd like to hear from you because we might be setting the stage for some things we want to do next year with that. But anyway, we're ready to play a football game here tonight, and you know, the talk is this is the biggest mismatch in the playoffs in East Tennessee tonight, and that is probably, I won't argue with that. Not here to disparage anybody, but you got a 5-5 team coming in playing a well, if you just want to talk about this year, a 10-0 team, but recently a 33-0 team. You know, so it's a pretty tough nut to crack as the 2 teams are getting ready to take the field. And John, I didn't catch who won the toss, but Alcoa's kicking off, so I'm going to assume that Sweetwater won the toss and decided to receive the ball first. And we'll be getting ready to give you the play-by-play here. As soon as the clock goes down to like it has right now to 0, gets reset at 12. We'll play a little football here on a we're in Alcoa, but it feels like we're in New England tonight. I mean,
it feels pretty daggum good, you ask me.
This is football weather.
Yep.
You know, with some snap in the air, and at least there's nothing coming out of the sky right now. So that's just not a bad situation. I know way back in the leather helmet days when I played, I liked to play in the colder weather because, you know, you work up a little sweat and you're not dying. You're feeling good. So, okay, Roberto Castro's got the ball up on the tee, and he's going to put his hand up in the air and wait for the referee to tell him to play some football. And here we go. Going with that high sideline pooch kick again, and it's going to be caught.
Alcoa has recovered it and run it in for a touchdown. Hambrick.
My goodness. It looked like he just pulled it in. Now, I see a referee not moving. I see a referee spotting the ball. And I'm not sure, maybe you can't advance.
Yeah, you can't advance a muff.
You can't advance a muff, you can advance a fumble. And I thought he pulled it in, so I think that qualifies as a muff. A muff just goes off your fingertip. And so V. Hambrick, boy, well, it's not like he doesn't have any other touchdowns to look at the game film of, but he just got that on the dead run, didn't he? I didn't even know what happened there for a minute.
Well,
V's got enough breath left to go back in the game.
Daryl Warren's going to come on out here to start the game, and Hambrick, who just picked up the football for Alcoa, is going to stay in the game, and he'll be at the tailback position.
It is Alcoa ball. You don't get the muff back, but you just can't advance it. So,
lone setback in the backfield will be Hambrick as Austin Talent taking a snap. He's got a 5-step drop, a little swing pass, and there's Hambrick with the football. Hambrick slips and falls on the very wet turf, and a late flag comes in as Alcoa is going to be called for a block in the back as Steve Emanuel.
Yeah, that one's gonna be. They're calling it a hold, but you're right. And that was going to be a pickup of 6.
And the flag was thrown at the end of the play, so it'll be penalized 10 yards from the spot. So it will be first down and 14 now.
That looks about right. That looks like about 15, so what? All right. So first and long for Alcoa as the big tight end Ownby comes out and John Roy takes his place. So Alcoa will be heavy with wide receivers as they send the big fullback to Heron Tyson out in the slot to the left, Isom far out to the left, Lawan Warfield to the right.
Austin Talent on the play fake. He looks to roll. He's got his man deep and goes underneath to Roy. Roy's at the 20, Roy at the 15, and down at the 14-yard line as he's brought down by Davis.
Austin had a few choices there.
Yeah, but not before he picked up the first down.
Yeah,
he had 3 receivers in the flood pattern, and
I think he picked the most open one. I thought for a minute there it was going to go to Taharon Tyson, but John Roy was about 8 yards deeper than that. That's a nice play. First down, so much for the 1st and 15. As Roy comes out after the nice catch and run, and Ownby takes his place. And Alcoa goes with Taharon Tyson, the lone back in the backfield, set off to the left.
Warfield's in the wing. He will now go in motion. The give to Tyson up the middle, following the block of Caleb Mangum. And he has got about 8, maybe 9 yards on the carry inside the 5-yard line. It'll be down to the 4. That's real close to a first down.
And we're going to get some substitutions here. And they're calling it a first down, I believe, John. So it's going to be first and goal on the 4 as Warren comes in replacing Hambrick, and Caleb Magnum's in the game. And here comes the monster eye with Magnum behind him. Tyson, third back through, is Warren, and he is going to barrel his way into the end zone. We've seen that before, and Alcoa scores on 4 plays to set, I think, the tone of the game. You can't make mistakes against Alcoa, like muffing the kickoff, and then they're going to run the ball down and score on you.
There's some fireworks going off, Lane.
Yeah. Nice little mixture of plays there. Alcoa mixing it up. Here's the snap and the hold and the kick. All 3 successful, and Alcoa goes up on top with 10:24 to go here in the first quarter. It's Alcoa 7, Sweetwater 0. Wouldn't be too presumptuous of us, John, to possibly speculate about next week. We get the winner of Loudon and Howard, am I correct?
Yes.
You're always my source for that kind of stuff.
And that's a game that either one of those teams could win.
Either one of them could win. I mean, both of them earlier in the season victims of Alcoa in fairly, Alcoa with very convincing wins over either one of them. I think if I had to put money on
those are going to be two very good ball games to watch tonight, that Howard Loudon game and Tyner and Polk. Both of those are going to be outstanding games to keep an eye on as the night goes on. And, I got my scoreboard to go in here.
Now, Castro's lining the ball up for that little pooch kick again. It's hard to argue with that pooch kick with the results they've been getting the last 2 weeks with it. That little sideline kick. We got a fumble against CAK last week, a muff tonight, and not much of anything that has been a deep run back. So there it goes again. He's got it down pretty good, and we're getting a fair catch call here. No, he called fair catch. You can't run with the ball, son. Okay.
Well, they don't throw a flag. That should have been a delay of game.
Yeah, you know, I think the referees want to get up to show
Yeah,
too.
they want to get this game. Go. Sorry. That's the guy that's grading the officials behind us.
I'm sorry. Okay.
No, that shouldn't have been a delay of game there.
No,
I think I got the right call, brother.
Okay, Sweetwater comes down in a very spread formation, 3 wide receivers out, and the pitch goes to the lone back.
And there's the ball on the ground again, and Stanley Johnson's got it.
Stanley Johnson picks it up and advances a foot before he is knocked down again. So first play from scrimmage.
Yep, Gavin Davis with the toss to Wicker. Wicker puts it on the floor, and Stanley Johnson picks it up.
And you know, if Richie had a lot of hair, he'd be pulling it out right now,
right?
Because you can't, you just can't. You can't do that kind of simple mistake against Alcoa. Once again, Alcoa's got the short field. They got the ball on the 24-yard line. 1st and 10, just 10:14 to go here in the first quarter. As Warfield spread out wide to the right, Isom to the top of your screen, straight I formation with Tyson and Moore in back. The ball's going up. Isom catches it, beats the defender, and he's going to take off for the end zone. One play, 24 yards. Alcoa scores again. And as they say in some corners, it's getting ugly early, John. Gets down to the big decision of the night. When does the coach start pulling people? I mean, there's still 10:05 to go in the first quarter here as Castro lines the ball up. Kick is up and good. I read somebody stating on one of the message boards that Alcoa would be up in the first quarter 28-0, having run 10 plays. That was the rest of the prediction.
Yeah.
And that person's starting to look pretty good right now because that's 14-0 on 5. So they're half right already. I don't want to say what game this is starting to remind me of, but because I always give the wrong school. It's one of those 2 schools up there in the mountains, but you know what I'm talking about. 70-0 at the half. It's going to get to the situation, John, in this game where Alcoa is going to put their subs in just like you should, and you just can't tell those kids don't play. You can't say run 4 yards and take a knee, and so
Sweetwater's better than what they're showing.
Man, they could be a little intimidation factor going on there, perhaps. I mean, they've touched the ball twice and handed it over to Alcoa both times. There goes.
Right. And then there's
fair
another
catch is called, and he's caught it this time. And that will be on the 25-yard line.
Yep. Nick Wicker with the fair catch again, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
Well, this gives us a little opportunity to line up the defense for you here, and we've got defensively, and they'll shift Darrell Warren around, but we got Warren, Tate, Johnson, and Henry as your front four on defense.
Somebody erased my work, man.
I know they did. The band people did it here last weekend. I was thinking about you when I watched them do it.
Interesting.
Okay.
The give goes to the second back through with the football and ahead for little to no gain.
Patrick Crenshaw and Patrick Crenshaw and should be Coco, if I'm seeing this right, would be your linebackers across the side there. I believe I have that correct. And then Talent, Isom, Warfield, and
in this series, Cody Lewis is in at the corner, and
so is V. Hambrick. Yeah,
Cody Lewis made an outstanding play last week to seal that game for us against CAK. Here's a heavily unbalanced line and a toss sweep going to Moore, and not much there, and it'll be 3rd and long. Stanley Johnson on the stop.
So sometimes we talk about a team looking for their first down. At this point in time, 3rd and 11. The Wildcats are looking for their first yard gained at this point in time. They spread out 3 receivers way out wide to the left, 3 out wide to the right. See if he's going to have time. The play doesn't get.
Got a delay.
They got a delay. They had every eligible receiver spread out wide. In fact, a couple of guys spread out wide were not eligible.
Yeah, just
receivers.
the old Emery and Henry shift there. Yeah. Just something to shake it up a little bit.
Yeah. And looks like now on 3rd and 16, they're going to come out in the same formation. Now, the problem here is giving this quarterback enough time to do something with this formation, because that could be a problem. And there's the problem. There was an inside handoff there as they attempted to spread it, but as you notice, I was just getting ready to say Derek Evans had come in on the defensive line, and that play gets stuffed for a loss of another 2. So that's a 4th and 16 now.
Yep.
Now, I did notice, John, I will say this. I saw the kid warming up beforehand. They got a pretty good punter. Puts some air into the ball and puts it pretty deep. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get an opportunity for a run back here.
6'4", 180 is the kicker, Cox.
Gets a bad snap, but he handles it.
Left footer, line drive coming down to Hambrick at midfield.
And fakes
and here's the wall.
And the wall is big, too. That's the wall of China right there. That's all he needs is that one more block, and he's going to make it to the end zone. So with 7:51 to go in the first quarter, Alcoa is just being Alcoa, man, you know. But as soon as that was a low kick, John, I thought that might be problems. And I watched the kid warming up before the game, and he was putting a lot of air into the ball, looked good. And that low kick, that's a killer. And then, the next time they'll reverse that, and it'll happen too. But the wall was set up, wasn't it?
Yep, it sure was.
Okay. All right, here we are, 21-0 with a good kick with 7:51 to go in the first quarter. Perhaps we'll get our clarification of the rule here, John, about when that clock starts running automatically. We always thought it had to be the third quarter before the clock started running after a 35-point lead, but a couple of weeks ago in Scott County, it ran in the second quarter. Do you remember that?
Yeah, McMinn, yeah, sure did.
Was it McMinn?
Yeah. Also need to go ahead and touch base while we got a second here. Next week is Veterans Day week. And next Friday we will have a Veterans Day celebration here at Goddard Field. Better than anybody else in town.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we got better veterans. No. Because we got some people playing the nice little.
So if you have anybody in the Alcoa family that is a veteran and wants to be recognized on the field prior to next week's playoff game, send that. If you're going to be at the game and want to be recognized, get your information to Colonel David Evans at Scots50, SCOTS50 at AOL.com. And give him your name, rank, and the years, the era that you served in, and we'll get you on the field down here as we're going to have hopefully something very, very special coming down out of the sky next week. So Castro on to kick it away,
and he's going to go deep this time, and the ball is going to be fielded at the and muffed again at the 6, and we're going to do a little dancing and try to get to the outside, and he's actually going to get out there for a little bit.
Jacob Richardson runs him down from behind.
Yep. And he's going to bring the ball out to the 25-yard line. Pretty much the same result as the pooch kick to the side. So
Gavin Davis on the return.
Coach just shaking things up a little bit there, just for a little bit of variety. As the defense comes out again, pretty much the same defensive lineup we talked about before. Although I do believe.
Mustafa Anthony,
he was out there before. I thought I saw a different number on the. Yeah, I did see a different number on the defensive line there. That's Devon Revels, who gets a lot of playing time in that defensive end position, has come in and is playing right now.
I believe we got an Alcoa player not lined up in the neutral zone, so it'll cost him 5.
Okay, so it'll be 1st and 5. Inside handoff. It's going to go for 3 or 4 yards. It's going to bring up a 2nd and short, John. Looks like about a 4-yard gain. Going to bring up a 2nd and 1. Hopefully for their sake, Oliver Springs to get a little something going here. Not Oliver Springs, Sweetwater. You know what? The uniform looks like Oliver Springs uniform. A little bit. No. Okay, you gave me that look like you're old. You're losing it, man.
Your colorblind look.
Yeah.
On second down and short,
he's not going
the give goes, and there's
good second effort by
yeah. Crenshaw had him wrapped up in the backfield, and then Arwood spins free and gets the first down. So the Wildcats pick up their initial first down of the evening with 7 minutes to play in the opening period. Alcoa leads 21-0.
Crenshaw in the middle there, Patrick on the left side, and Zico Coco on the right side. And you got Roy and Anthony deep back.
Davis, a little quick pass, incomplete as it was intended there for Shane Cox.
Throwing a little high.
How do he overthrew his 6'4" receiver there.
That's putting the ball up in the air. And they don't need that. You got to look at it.
Got a guy limping off.
Player limping off the field, interior lineman.
Swy Smith.
Okay, here we go. 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. 2 wideouts wide to the right, 1 to the left. Straight eye formation behind the quarterback. Man in motion.
Yeah, man in motion's Wicker. And Davis gives to the second back through. That's Arwood. Arwood is wrapped up by Devon Rebels. And then another pack of tornadoes. Jonathan Henry is in there. It's going to be a gain of close to 3 lane. It'll bring up third down and, no, actually close to 4. So 3rd down and 6, we'll call it.
It'll be 3rd down and 6.
This is where teams get in trouble sometimes, just trying to throw the ball here. And
Stanley Johnson checks out. Darrell Warren in, as is Zach Chapman at the defensive tackle on 3rd and 6.
Pass rushing time with Chapman in there at the defensive tackle.
Wicker goes in motion. Davis, and now we've got a flag, and we're going to have a procedure call against the Wildcats.
There's going to be a little inside handoff with a little reverse to it, but it wasn't going to go very far. But as it turns out, we're going backwards for 5 yards, so it brings up a 3rd and 11. Might call for a change in play call here. Probability of getting 11 on the ground here against this defense is not real big.
And now we've got the swinging gate, Lane.
Okay. Okay, try it all, man. Try it all. That's all right. I'm glad you have a name for it, John.
That's what it's called. It's called the swinging gate. And here it is.
And it's gonna be a pretty successful play.
He's got the first down.
That's right. Just direct snap.
Davis. There you go.
Direct snap to Davis, and he takes off to the right side, and he picks up 16 yards. So it's going to be first down as Sweetwater moves into Alcoa territory by a yard, and it's going to be 1st and 10 with the ball on the Alcoa 49. Chapman comes out. Stanley Johnson goes back in. Richie Marsh with a little trickery there. There goes the inside handoff, and it's going. The spot might lose a yard, and it might be a no gain. But as the coaches have decided to make you and I work tonight, substituting an awful lot here in the first quarter as Rebels comes in and Warren comes out. Warren coming off.
Well, you got to make that money that we've got to pay the TWSAA.
I know, man. Warren coming off what can only be described as a monster night against CAK last week. Offensively and defensively. 5 touchdowns, 4 sacks. You name it, he did it. Straight eye formation.
Davis with the give to Arwood, and Arwood's got pretty decent yardage. He's got about 7 yards.
Yep. You know, you got to have a sustained drive. You got to, I say it all the time, John. You got to get first downs to get touchdowns. Now, sometimes Alcoa disproves me on that with the big play potential. But when you're playing against a team that really has you outmanned, you got to get some first downs. You got to control the ball for a while. You can't put your defense out there all night long. And you can look across the field and see that this team has a depth problem.
Well, he's ineligible. This kid is. He's outside the numbers, correct?
I think so. Well, The referee does not, and there goes an inside handoff that's going to not come up with the first down. So it's going to be 3rd and about 2, John.
Carries.
Do I have my downs wrong?
Yep, it's 4th down.
Okay. Now you go for it here, don't you? I mean,
sure.
What are you going to? 4th and 2. Okay, nothing fancy on this formation. Just an offset eye.
Offset eye. And Wicker again in motion. And a timeout is called for and granted to the Wildcats. So time is out with 3:22 to play here in the opening period. Alcoa 21 and Sweetwater 0. The renewal of a once great rivalry lane back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. This game during the regular season always decided the district championship. And then back in those days, champ, if you didn't win it, you didn't go to no playoffs.
That's right. That is correct. And there's some pretty good games between these two teams in days gone by. The days aren't that far gone by. I mean, I've been around long enough that I went to a couple of good Sweetwater games. But just take the chance here with this little break in action to mention once again, thanking our sponsors tonight, Champion Fence Company located over in Louisville, probably the premier fence company probably in East Tennessee, but certainly in the greater Knoxville area. And they'll build you a heck of a deck, too, because I've seen them.
Who was that number? 379-5200?
379-5200, Champion Fence. Call Joe or Marty Keefe and talk to them about your fencing needs as we're ready to start here on a 4th and 2. Direct.
Yep, a little shotgun snap, and it's a quick kick.
Quick kick. You're going to see something different tonight.
And John Roy. I don't think he called a fair catch, but they granted it to him.
I'm not sure what happened there, John. Probably not a bad. I mean, you know, why not?
Well, and sometimes you can catch them napping and be able to pin them inside the 10. So it's not a bad strategy.
Nah, you know, it wasn't a bad strategy. And hey, you know, heck, you got to figure that Coach Marsh is just like, let me try some things tonight, and he's had a better season than last year, and he's just, you know, getting ready to do some things next year. So
yep.
I think that's cool that he does that. Straight eye formation. Second back through was Warren. He gets the handoff, but he's got some daylight. Watch out. He's big and he's strong. He shakes 2 tacklers. He stiff arms another tackler, and he's finally brought down after a 30-some yard run. He had 10 easy yards there thanks to his offensive line, and then he just overpowered people for the next 15 or 20.
I'll tell you what, boy, this field's in rough shape.
Yeah. But that right side of the line over there, you know, Loy and Evans, they pretty well popped that open. That was a big hole to run through there. Okay, as Warren's out. As a wide out to the left, Isom to this side.
Warfield on the jet sweep.
Gets the handoff. He's got a little crease there. Watch out.
Yep, his blocker, Tyson, fell down.
On the bad turf.
Yep, and Warfield able to squeeze 10 out of it, and that'll be enough for a first down.
It'll be 2nd down short.
Biggest the game we'll keep up with tonight on the scoreboard. Right now, Loudon is leading by 7 at the end of the first quarter.
Is that 7-0?
Yeah, 7-0.
Okay, single back in the backfield is V. Hambrick.
Pitch.
Little toss. And he's going to get to the outside. It's just a question of how many yards he picks up, and he gets run out of bounds on the 21-yard line.
Yeah, he's slow getting up. I tell you what, they got to be careful with this turf tonight.
Yep. He's going back to the huddle, though. He's gimping a little bit. He just took a little bang there.
Yeah, Warren's coming in.
Warren's coming in, and V's going to come out. And that's the one thing, you know, that you don't even want to say it, but in a playoff game like this, you just don't want. Well, we can judge what's going on by how much time he spends talking to Peggy Brad over there and how much attention she gives him. And she's taking him over to the side. So we're going to sit him down and check him out. He's gimping a little bit. we'll see if we see him back in the game again. It looks like he's just trying to walk something off.
Lone back is offset. That'll be Tyson, tight end set to the far side on 1st and 10, and we got the delay. Wow, that was quick.
That kind of surprises me a little. I didn't think maybe we were paying too much attention to V limping around the sideline over there. So it's going to be 1st and 15. Alcoa. The ball will go back to the 27-yard line. As just a question of what they run here and how many yards they get. As we're going to have Isom spread out wide, and you got Darryl Warren out there spread out wide to the left. Inside handoff.
Wow, that busted open.
Oh man, wow! And he just there's those tailback feet. Look at that. Warren down there blocking for him. That young man did not stand a chance of making that defensive play. That little inside reverse was so wide open, and then as I mentioned, Warren was out there as a wideout, and if you're a wideout on Alcoa, you're a blocker, but Warren's a crunching blocker.
Yep.
And he's basically just a running screen there. It was illegal in basketball what he did, but all he had to do was just run, and there was no pursuit, and Tyson just a little left cut, right cut, in tone. Kick is, whoa. That kick, John, cleared the upright by a foot. It was low. There was a little mix-up on the spot.
Well, people were talking about how many in a row that he'd made, and you don't do that.
That's right. He's what, like 10th on the all-time list now for consecutive extra points?
Something like that.
Something like that. But that one was terribly low. Okay, 1:42 to go here in the first quarter, and take this little moment to mention our other sponsor tonight, Alcoa TV, Tornado TV Channel 3, and really
I'm a plank owner in that club.
Really not much you can do there. I was just going to say that, around town, anybody sees me or John walking around, you want to walk up and give us a $5 bill.
Dollar bill, y'all.
Dollar bill. You could pin it on my belt over here, and maybe I'll do something. But anyway,
we just spend it on food. Don't give the money to us.
That's right. Yeah, but we'd spur the economy a little bit.
Yeah, we would put it back into Alcoa. So
put it right back into the local eateries.
28-0 to score as Alcoa has jumped out to a 4-touchdown lead. 1:42 to play in the opening period. Castro on to kick it away. And he'll put a foot into it deep, and it'll settle down to Gavin Davis.
10.
At Davis to the 15. Danson, 20, 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at that point. Brandon Strissel down there. He's got a nice little sleeve on that arm, if you'll check it out there, number 21.
Yep, Strissel the missile.
Where he dislocated his elbow in a JV game against Morristown West. But he's better now, and
down there getting tackles on the kickoff, which is what, at least to me, he's known for. Here we go, 1:35 to go in the first quarter as the score is 28-0 Alcoa. Sweetwater comes out. They're going to roll the quarterback, and there's a flag.
Flags on the play.
And it's going to be
there's been more penalties in this game than we needed.
Than plays, almost. So that makes it a 1st and 15.
So after the 5-yard mark off, it'll be 1st down and 15 as Davis brings Sweetwater to the line. Sorry.
I was going to say quarterback under center instead of taking a direct snap this time, and there goes the inside handoff, and it goes for a yard.
Yep. Zach Chapman in on the stop of the tailback, Arwood. Sweetwater had a little bit of a drive last time he touched the ball before it stalled out. Just across midfield.
For no gain, 2nd down.
They entertained us with a little quick kick action. It's been a while since I've seen a quick kick like that. It's been quite a while.
The last one I saw was when we got one blocked in the state championship game against Milan.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Back under center again. He's got 2 wideouts to one side, a straight eye behind him. Second back through, gets the ball.
Arwood, good play. Jordan Patrick slides over, sheds his blocker, and making the stop, he and Zach Chapman. It's going to be no gain on the play. Brings up 3rd and 15.
Yep.
As we're getting close to 30 seconds to play, we'll have one more play in this quarter.
Jordan Patrick, one of those guys with 2 first names, always confuses me. And here we go, John. What's it called again? Swinging gate?
Swinging gate.
Last time it was good for 16, and they need 15 right now. I'm not looking for this one to go. He's going to drop back, and he's going to finally throw the ball, and he overthrows it. And overthrew his 6'4" receiver again. And that'll be 4th and long. The play had possibilities, though. I mean,
that's a lot of room to roam.
There's a lot of room to roam. He did a pretty good job of buying a little time, of fake and run, then pulling the ball back up. But its coverage downfield was pretty good. The perfect throw might have got him near the.
This time it'll be Warfield and Isom back to receive, as Cox is on to kick it away on 4th down.
Hopefully, you get a little more air under this one. Maybe.
And the left footer kind of shanks this one, and it almost drags down and hits Coco, but Coco wisely runs away from it. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Alcoa at the 48-yard line. Once again, take the opportunity to thank Champion Fence for as the quarter comes to a close. The score: Alcoa 28 and Sweetwater 0. Once again, thank Champion Fence for their generous contribution to tonight's telecast. Champion Fence, make sure you call them for any of your fencing needs at 379-5200.
That is exactly what it is.
Call them whenever you need something built there around the house.
Fence or a deck.
Also, thanks to Alcoa City Schools and Alcoa Television Channel 3.
Don't forget, if you run a company, you'd like a little mention on the air and like to support the Tornadoes, you can give Debbie West a call at 755-4761. And she'll send her crack #1 salesman out to see you.
1st and 10 for Alcoa. The ball just across midfield, and here comes a little swing pass to Stephen Isom. Isom is setting sail, gets a block from Warfield. A juke or two, and he's down to the 11-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tornadoes there.
Yeah, John, someone can make the argument, you're throwing the ball against the team that's way down, but so what if you run it? It's still the same, the same result.
That would go down as a run because the ball was thrown behind the line of scrimmage.
You got to run plays as Stephen Manuel checks into the game. Jordan Patrick's in at the tight end position. 2 tight ends, monster eye backfield again with Mangum up front.
Play fake to Warren, looking for Owenby.
Yep, Owenby was covered up, and Talent's going to take off with the ball. He's going to pick up about 3.
Yeah, close to 4 yards as he's down to about the 7.
Yeah, Owenby was the intended receiver there, and he was fairly well covered, and Talent did the intelligent thing, pulled the ball down, and he's got pretty good speed. I say pretty good speed. Coach Rankin tells me he's as fast as anyone on the team, so that's pretty good speed, huh?
Yeah.
As Isom checks back in, and Patrick comes out as the tight end. So you're going to have...
We got 90 men in the huddle.
Yeah, we got... we're going to have a substitution violation here against the Tornadoes. It's almost understandable. Coaches run a lot of guys in and out. If this was a 7-0 ball game, that wouldn't happen.
Right.
Not
on the offensive line anyway.
Yeah.
As Adam Stevens is getting in and out of there, swapping out some plays with Manuel. So Talent brings the Tornadoes to the line of scrimmage at 2nd down and 12. Little fade pattern, looking for Stephen Isom.
Just over his fingertips.
Complete.
That was the non-monster eye formation there, just a straight eye formation, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 12 with 13 to go for the touchdown. Okay, John Roy's going to check in, and Owenby's going to come out, the big tight end. So even though he's a wide receiver, Roy will usually line up as a tight end, but it does give them an extra set of wide receiver hands in there. And as soon as I say that, he splits out wide to the right.
Yep.
And it is Warfield.
Basic guy here tight. Now. Warfield in a flanker in the slot.
So the tight end's a tight end.
Draw
to Tyson, and Tyson bulls his way.
Darryl Warren.
Was that Darryl Warren? My bad. Yep. There's Tyson over there getting up for making a block. Okay, so the draw play goes to Darryl Warren, and it runs the way it's supposed to, and he scoots into the end zone, and with 10:07 to go in the first half, Alcoa up 34-0 pending the extra point. And this one clears the bar by a little more than a foot. as the extra point is good for some number of consecutive points here that Mr. Castro's put up. And you made comment a couple games ago about what an incredible improvement Roberto Castro's made as a kicker here in the last couple years.
Yeah, he really has. And then Gary Rankin on a radio show yesterday evening echoed those sentiments. I mean, this kid 2 years ago, they didn't know if he was going to make it as a kicker at this level, and he's gotten out there and busted his tail and gotten better and better and better. And that's the key, is getting better each time you step on the field. Leave better than you were when you came on.
There's an awful lot of hard work involved with this whole Alcoa thing.
Yeah, and the question that was asked of Gary is, what's the range do you think you could trust this kid with? He said, look, if we're 40 in, I'll give him a shot if we need it.
Yeah, exactly. But, all these guys work hard. It's not just like a bunch of good players that get together and throw them out there. There's hard work is one of the cornerstones of this whole Alcoa situation. And if he hadn't run into his own man, he might have got about 5 more yards. But
Coco, I don't know what happened to Ezekiel. He kind of lost track of who had the ball there.
Yeah. But the return
he's
man
getting an earful for his troubles right now.
Yeah.
Walked right by the guy that had the ball.
Chapman and Revels in on that defensive line, along with Johnson and
Colby Tate.
I would have thought of that like in half an hour. But thank you for helping me out there. Lynn, the Turbyfield in.
Look at this crazy line. Wow. Faking the draw, running,
Stanley
and
Johnson's
look out.
Having none of that, man. I hate to use that phrase over and over again, but he did read that like a book. He knew exactly where that play was going. And showing one of those things about Alcoa that everybody talks about, but that's a defensive end running him down. I mean, he just had a little too much speed for that play to fool him. So we're going to have a second and it looks like 21 to me, John. Straight I formation with 2 wide receivers out to the left side. Inside handoff is going to get nothing.
Yep, Arwood on the draw.
Yeah. We got to 35 points here and the clock's running, but it should be running in this situation, so I don't really know what the deal is there. Turbyfield and Chapman check out.
On third down and long.
Totally unbalanced line.
Yep.
And that's just going to cost that quarterback some grief.
Yeah.
As he tries to run to the left where all of his linemen were lined up to the left of the center. CAK mildly ahead of Kingston in the first quarter. Doesn't say how much time left, but it's 6-0 CAK.
Yeah, it's the end of the first quarter, so they're in the second quarter there at West Knoxville.
That's interesting. That lineup where all of the offensive linemen were lined up to the left of the center reminds me of, I bet you something you didn't even know, that in the early days of football in this country, and I did not know this, my uncle told me this, if the ball went out of bounds, they spotted the ball on the out of bounds line, and the center snapped the ball from there with everyone lined up to the inbound side. And there comes
there's a little bit better kick.
Fair catch called for and dropped, and Mustafa Anthony drops right on it.
Yep, covers it up. Yep. 1st and 10 Alcoa at the 46-yard line. 7:02 to play in the first half.
And Alcoa with a relatively short field.
There's some interesting scores out there right now. Interesting scores.
First round, because of course some of the middle matchups could be good.
It's early during the evening too. I mean, Sequoia and Gibbs are tied at 0, and it's almost halftime there. That's one that I would have never saw coming.
No.
But I knew Sequoia was a lot improved.
Chapman in is the lone back at the fullback position, and he's going to get the handoff, and he's going to run straight up the middle. He's going to bull over one tackler and express a little frustration that the other two guys brought him down, but Zach will run straight forward. We know that.
You don't know any other way.
That's right. And he's a nice little gain of 3 on that.
He's got to beat his daddy to the dinner table.
Yeah. Fighting for that food like Marcel. Right? Straight eye formation, and it is Coco in there at the tailback position now with Chapman up in front of him. And Coco gets the handoff, and he's got a nice hole. He goes through, spins and turns, and I do believe he's got enough for the first down, John. If not, it's going to be right on it. It's not really a very good spot, not that I'm whining. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and short, very short.
So basically the linemen are still set. Mangum is out for the moment.
Ferguson in at the one wide receiver, and I'll pick up the other one. I can't see his number just now, and it is Cody Lewis at the other wide receiver.
But Adam Stevens has jumped around several different spots on the line tonight. Right now he's lined up at the left guard.
As we come out unbalanced to the left.
Cody Lewis fakes the jet sweep, but there goes Chapman.
Watch out. And he's heading for pay dirt, and he's going to get drugged down on the 2, and he is going to be annoyed. Money on it, he gets the handoff on the next play after that run.
Chapman on the carry.
That's pretty much the same play that Tyson scored on before, just a little inside reverse to the fullback there.
Yep. And Chapman's coming out as Mangum is back into the lineup.
Okay, here we go. Monster Eye. Good job, Zach Chapman.
And here comes Crenshaw in at another fullback. We need a tailback out there, don't we? Coco's in there.
Coco's out there, yeah. Right. So 4:42 with the clock ticking here. Monster Eye formation. And third back through is Coco, and he's got a hole, and he is going to come up a little short. Digging. He's going to come up short as
Coco carries.
As he picks up about 3 or 4 on that play, bringing the ball down to the 5. John, it's going to be 2nd and goal with the ball on the 5. Call it the 4. They keep moving it. I'm going to call it the 3. And there it is.
There it is.
I'm going to call it the 3. I had his foot on the 5 before, I'm telling you. But 4:09 and ticking here. 35-0 Alcoa. Monster Eye formation as Mangum goes off to one side, then Coco to the other. That leaves Tyson the lone, but no, that's Crenshaw the lone back, and then he takes the handoff and rambles into the end zone standing up. And that's another touchdown for Alcoa. All right, so there we go. Alcoa scores again. 3:38 to go, pending the extra point. It'll be 42-0 Alcoa. I don't want to jinx anybody here who's got a streak going, but low snap, well handled. Kick almost straight up. So 42-0 with 3:14 to go, and John, the clock is running. Just to answer my question, you didn't seem to be too interested in that, but
cool.
Yeah, I know you got your eyes on the breakfast buffet too. So
they won't have it set up if we get out of here any
too early.
Sooner, yeah.
Somebody put a call in to Shoney's, tell them the game's going quickly.
Was that not too funny?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, we got to find something to talk about, man. You know. Anyway. As my wife loves to tell me, you're not funny. She tells me that all the time. And I say, yeah, I am. Everybody else tells me I am, dear, but everybody but you. I guess there's only so much good humor she can absorb, you know. So many good one-liners. Okay, here we go. What's the kick going to be? Looks like he's lining up. Now he's deep and off to the side. So what's this going to be? A deep pooch kick? I don't know.
He's going deep with it.
Yeah, it sure is, and it's straight down the middle, and it's going to come down right about on the 10-yard line. Well handled.
Dave's
got a little crease,
and there's Coco to wrap him up.
Up to the 25.
Davis on the return, brought down by Coco. It'll be 1st and 10 Wildcats at the 25.
Loudon now up 14-6 with 5 minutes to play in the second half.
They're playing, as Stars and Bars would say, hard. They're playing hard, right? Is that at Loudon?
Yes.
Okay, second back through, gets the handoff, and he's going to get stacked up by Chapman and a couple other people after a gain of maybe 1. Clock ticking at 1:22 as we move toward the end of the first half here.
Second down.
As we're going to get a few substitutions here as Tremont McNear comes in, and we'll take a couple snaps at middle linebacker, and the big sophomore Crenshaw comes out. Straight eye formation. Man in motion stops, comes back the other way. They go back the other way, maybe.
Yep.
Okay,
Davis
inside
gives to
handoff.
Arwood, and Arwood going to go ahead for about close to 3 yards. Going to bring up a third down and about 5 as we're inside 40 seconds to play in period number 2.
Brandon Strissel will come in and give Mustafa Anthony a breather.
Third down, 4.
Maybe he'll give Coco a breather if I got my numbers right. Okay, that is Coco.
That's one thing I don't like about these jerseys. Those front numbers are
They're tough to
small.
read. They're tough to read. I've called number 4, number 1 too many times, but what can I say? Wide out, spread way right to the right as Cody Lewis comes over and picks him up, and they're going to stay on the ground. The quarterback's going to keep it. He is going to
Good first down run.
make his way for a first down. Scrappy little kid. He's had a couple of decent runs tonight, as the clock is going to run out on that after the first down. So the first half will come to an end with Alcoa up 42-0. Not much to say about it, guys. We'll be back for the second half. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the 2010 Alcoa High School Marching Tornadoes under the direction of Brian Adler and Travis Green. The guard instructor is Corinne Dobson. The majorette instructor is Elisa Wilhoy. And Alcoa's featured twirler is Maddie Sharp. Tonight's halftime program is titled Life Through the Classics and will include the following musical selections: Beethoven's ageless classic, Ode to Joy; George Gershwin's modern classic, Rhapsody in Blue, featuring soloist Brad Allen on the alto saxophone. Once again, please welcome Drum Major Sidney King and the Alcoa High School Marching Tornado.
I don't hear her well. Once I get the food in.
Gracias.
Let's hear it one more time for those marching tornadoes. And for the Sweetwater Wildcats.
Did you see LSU Freaks thing today about
If you've lost your purse, please report to the press box. We have a lost purse in the press box.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here getting ready to start the second half. Let's see, I do believe Alcoa kicked off to begin the half, so they'll be receiving the opening kickoff at the second half. As if you didn't know, the score is 42-0 Alcoa. And we got a couple minutes here to go before the half starts. As it appears to me, Jonathan Henry will go out with the officials and get the halftime instructions from the officials. It basically says let's keep playing clean in the second half, just like we did in the first half. First half's pretty easy to summarize. Alcoa scored a touchdown on every possession, including punt returns, and they haven't seen a kickoff return yet, but we'll see a kickoff return here in just a few minutes as Alcoa is going to get the opening kickoff. And they'll be moving from right to left on your screen. I believe we'll see 10-minute quarters here. That's the unofficial word I have. We'll see what goes up on a scoreboard if it becomes the official word. With a minute to go here before we get into the kickoff situation. We can look forward to seeing a lot of substitutions here in the second half, and we will do our very best to keep up with them. Every time a young man goes in the game, we'll try to pick it up. If we don't quite make it, we don't make it. Thanks again to Champion Fence, located right here in Blount County, for being a co-sponsor of tonight's game. And once again, if you're interested in being a co-sponsor next week, I can't get into numbers on the air, but it's a pretty reasonable situation. You can give Debbie West a call at 755-4761. And if you don't call, I might come looking for you. Who knows? So if you see me coming, know that's why I'm coming. Also like to mention tonight that, Sarah Thurman and Paris Chrisman have been working the cameras for us, students at Alcoa. This is a class for them, and they do an excellent job with it. I thank broadcast coordinator Debbie West, athletic director Josh Stevenson, my broadcast partner John Morgan.
Yay!
He's back. He's back.
I had to do my politicking, man.
To do his politicking, and John, it's official now. We're going to do 10-minute quarters.
We'll kick it off.
I did a little inquiry, John, and basically that running clock in the first half, little kick that is
Strissel. That was your chance, Strissel. And now we got a late flag coming in behind the play, thrown in the area.
Interesting situation there. Somebody must have taken a cheap shot.
Braylon Young.
We'll get the call here in a minute. But, John, that first quarter, in the first half, that's a coach's agreement in the first half. In the second half, the shortened quarters by coach's agreement, okay? And in but the running clock is mandatory with a 35-point lead in the second half. So that summarizes that whole situation. And here we go. We got Chapman in it. We got Turberfield in the quarterback.
Turberfield taking the snaps. Turberfield turns and gives to Jacob Richardson, and Richardson's across the 30 out to the 35-yard line, where it will be a 15-yard pickup and a first down for Alcoa.
15, add 2 to that, make it a 17-yard pickup. So a first and 15 turned. No, it was a first and 10. You're right, John. I was thinking the penalty was on the kickoff. So
now every drive starts first and 10, no matter what happens.
Dead ball foul.
It'll still be first and 10.
Okay.
Every drive starts first and 10. Richardson will go into the wing position as Chapman, the lone set, back first and 10 with the ball at the 35-yard line. Turberfield turns, gives to Chapman. Chapman, the strong man running. He's got about close to 7 yards on first down. Actually, it'd be 6.
Not that I just got to be right, John, but what if you recover the ball, fumble inside the 10-yard line? Then you'd start first and goal on the 8 or something like that. So I just wanted to... You know, I strained my brain to come up with that.
You're that guy.
I know. I go to a support group. I'm that guy. My name is Lane, and I'm that guy. Here we go, straight eye formation. Second back through is Richardson again. He's got a nice hole as he just rumbles. Nice looking run, and he is finally brought down after a gain of about 20.
Yeah, 22, 23 yards.
All right, here's what I promised. We're going to try to pick these players up as they come in, as Kelsey Hodge comes in to work on the offensive line. Jordan Ferguson is in as a wideout.
Shane Franklin comes out for Alcoa, number 76. He started that offensive series there on the line. First and 10 for the Tornadoes. Ball at the 42-yard line as Turberfield brings the Tornadoes to the line of scrimmage.
Jamie Hawkins out wide to the left. First back through, Zach Chapman. He runs through an arm tackle and gets tripped up after a gain of 8.
Brought down to 34.
Nick Miles in on that offensive line also, along with Corey Long. As CAK has gone up 13-0 at the half, I am informed by my electronically endowed partner over here.
Crazy.
Yep. I mean, I expect to see them win that game. Here we go. Straight eye formation. Nothing fancy here. Turberfield throws a little pass.
Good grab. Good grab.
Jordan Ferguson with a nice catch on a high pitch there. And
went up the ladder to grab that one. He's got the first down and then some, and the ball will be placed right at the 25-yard line. Be first and 10 for the Tornadoes.
You know, John, there's going to be people who criticize the coach for putting a pass play in this situation, but you got to give this quarterback some game experience throwing the ball. I mean, you just can't put him in there and say, you're a handoff machine. Hand his ball off. So Josh Wilson also in on the offensive line.
Offset I formation. It's Turberfield.
Inside handoff to Chapman. He's got a bit
that
of a
play's
hole.
Been there all night.
Yeah, just there for the take, and we've seen it with Tyson. We've seen it with Chapman. People talk about some of the players that Alcoa is going to lose this year. Now it is going to be an outstanding graduating class of football players, but there's an awful lot of people coming up. I mean, Chapman's just a perfect example. He's going to be hard to control next year, just like Crenshaw and Coco are going to be hard to control.
And Cody Lewis will be back.
Yeah.
Jacob Richardson. I mean, we've got some. Devon Revels will be back again. Lawan Warfield.
Here we go, straight eye formation.
Goes second back through, and that is the aforementioned Richardson running hard. He's down inside the 15-yard line. That will be enough for a Tornado first down.
I was going to say Austin Talent, but I knew it. But that's DJ Wilson checked in. Is that 8? That 8 was all bundled up. Sure looked like 6 to me, but DJ Wilson checks in. As we have a first and 10, ball inside the 15-yard line on about the 14-yard line.
Chapman on the handoff. The big fullback barrels up the middle. He's inside the 10, or actually right at the 10-yard line.
That'll be a
so
pickup
it'll be
of
gain of 4. Yep.
Right near the 10. Second down.
Caleb Jewett checks in as the aforementioned DJ Wilson checks out. Turberfeld's getting his call in from the coach. Landon doing a pretty nice job of controlling his drive. The Jewett spreads out wide to the right, and that looks like offset eye.
Toss sweep to Richardson. Good block from Chapman. Also downfield for Alcoa. Throwing a pretty good block is Nick Miles, 54.
That's going to be right at the first down mark. I think it's going to be a hair short, John. I think it's going to be third and very short with the ball just inside of the 5-yard line. And I believe I have called that correctly. It happens once in a while, you know. As the clock continues to run here in the first quarter with the shortened quarter, we just got a hair over 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. And Alcoa doing a good job of eating some clock here and getting on with this. Straight eye formation. Hawkins is spread out wide to the right and Jewett to the left. Richardson comes through and he gets met right pretty much. And
yep, that second or third effort is going to get him in the first down range.
The scrum's going to take him past the marker there. I mean, he was met before he got to the line of scrimmage, but there was just too much forward momentum as Alcoa picks up the first down with about a 1.5 yard gain. It's going to be first and goal Alcoa with the ball on the 4. And this unit running the ball nicely, John. Jordan Ferguson checks back into the game. Jewett comes to the sideline. Gets a greeting from Brand. No, I said it. I haven't said it in about 8 games. From Darryl Warren. Okay. Ferguson wide to the left, straight eye formation. No monster eye here, just straight eye. We're going to get a penalty.
Delay.
Do we have a delay? Well. So it's going to be first and goal with the ball on the 7 instead of the 2. No, the ball on the 9 instead of the 4. Still doable.
Sure.
1:32 to go here in the third quarter. As Alcoa runs 1 or 2 more plays, hopefully before they punch it in here, they will have eaten up the third quarter.
It's looking pretty promising.
Yeah.
Turberfield looking to throws it up, and there's Jordan Ferguson. No, incomplete.
Thought he had
it for a moment there, and whenever he hit the ground, the ball come loose.
Yeah.
So
pretty good coverage there, but I thought he had it too. So we got a second and goal with the ball out on the 9-yard line. I mean, I like that toss. That was a pretty good toss. He put that ball where it needed to be. The coverage is pretty good, and Ferguson just did not come down with it. Very same formation.
Turberfield going to try
Very
it
same
again.
play.
And that time he got it.
Yep. Very same play. Almost the exact results. That time Jordan Ferguson pulls the ball in. Not much you can do about that. That was a perfectly thrown pass. So Landon Turberfield comes out and gets a chance to do his thing, and he moves the team down the field for an Alcoa touchdown with 36.4 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Snap, hold, kick, it's good. And the streak continues.
Good. And that's a score now to 49 to
49 to nothing Alcoa, and that doesn't even tell the story, does it?
No.
So, you know, I don't think too many people bet much of their life savings on this game one way or the other. Just, you know, very, very unpredictable how this, I mean, not unpredictable, just a question about how much, but we should see some different numbers out here. We'll try to catch them for you as they come in on defense as Alcoa gets ready to kick off for the 7th time. Actually, make that the 8th time they had the opening kickoff. So we have a new kicker, don't we, John?
Yep.
And a pretty good boot straight down the middle. And it's going to be corralled a little low, but corralled on the 3. And receiver the return man gets to the outside, and he's going to bring the ball up to about the usual spot, which has been the 25 almost all night long. McNair and Revels, I catch those numbers in there already. Davey Hall will be the other defensive end. Turbofield's in at a linebacker. Ferguson, Jordan Ferguson will be one of your defensive backs. Stressel's in at a linebacking position.
That'll do it for the third period.
Third period is over. Braylon Young will be one of your defensive linemen. Try to catch them all here, folks.
As you're watching this game, the third period's over, and it's only 8:25 p.m.
Yeah. We tried to get a call through to Shoney's, but we don't think the breakfast bar is going to open up early because of this game. But, so some people have some decisions to make here in about 15 or 20 minutes. Wait an hour or just go home. So we'll find out here. But we're going to have another 10-minute quarter coming up. Once again, just take this opportunity to thank Champion Fence Company for being a co-sponsor of tonight's game. Need a fence, need a deck. Call Joe or Marty, and that's not Joe and Marty brothers. That's Marty is the wife in that situation, and a very nice person, and she knows the fence business too. She's the one who might answer the phone if you call there at 379-5200. 379-5200 to give them a call for your fencing needs or your decking needs. Goes inside, a handoff, and it's going to go for nothing.
Yep. Just off of the right tackle with the football goes Arwood. Arwood's going to have about a yard.
Colton Woody checking into the game as a linebacker. And Dorian White will check in on defensive end position as Davey Hill comes out. Noel DeDanini is one of your other defensive linemen. Revel still over on the other side at the end. Strissel, a linebacker.
Arwood with the football. Arwood
going to pick up about 3. Not a bad little run there.
Here's another one here. Tyner up 7-6 over Polk at the half.
I find that interesting. Damon Henderson checks into the game as a defensive lineman, as does Eli Cooper. Quan Wilson is one of your defensive backs. Mustafa Anthony in the middle.
Arwood with the carry. Whoops. Loses his footing and then gets absolutely pounded.
Yep, then he picks up about a half a yard on that. So that's going to bring up
by
a 4th and 4. As I do believe that they're going to go into punt formation. We're going to send back deep. This time we're going to send back Malik Love and Jordan Ferguson to receive this kick.
And a whistle, and a timeout, and one upset coach is Gary Rankin. Count the people for me, Lane.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I think. It's hard to count them when they're moving, but the coach doesn't like the math out there. And somebody's coming off the field, so there's going to be 11 now. I won't mention any names. And also, when the player comes off the field, there's no guarantee that he was the one who wasn't supposed to be out there. But the numbers are right now. As on that punt, Alcoa was lined up as if they were going to go for the block. Then they backed 2 blockers off, 2 rushers off. Now they're backing off again. So
in punt formation, Shane Cox. Cox gets the kick away, and it's high coming down to Jordan Ferguson at the 46-yard line, where he tumbles with it and is down there. So Alcoa takes over first and 10. 7:05 left to play in your football game. Alcoa leads 49-0. Again, big Veterans Day celebration coming this coming Friday night here at Goddard Field. Make sure that you're here early to take in all of the pregame festivities as we'll be honoring the Alcoa family of veterans, among others.
Corey Bach is going to be your quarterback, and Caleb Birchfield is going to be your tailback. And I need a little help with who that fullback is. 25. That would be Caleb Birchfield is your fullback as the pitch comes out to Richardson, and he's going to get met just short of the line of scrimmage.
He kept his footing there and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Eli Looper checking in again. Six minutes to go in the fourth and final quarter here. Bach comes up under center with a straight I formation behind him. Second back through is Richardson. He's got a little bit of a hole. He breaks through, makes a nice move, and he gets tripped up, or he was going for a long way, John.
Yeah.
But he certainly gets a first down on that run. Nice blocking up by the right side of the line.
Yeah, he sprung through there pretty quick. I think he kind of upset his rhythm there whenever he wasn't able to put his foot back down, and then he fell down.
When he hit open turf, he sort of was leaning forward so much that he just couldn't straighten himself up. But a nice run, 13 yards, first down, ball on the 40-yard line. Pitch goes
sweep
to Love. Love cuts back to the inside, and he's going to get met at the line of scrimmage.
Got to keep going
for a loss of about 1.
Got to keep taking that to the outside.
As Hunter Harris, big freshman, checks in on the offensive line, as does Corey Long. A lot of people going in and out. You got to be careful, but I don't think we're going to get a penalty here because I think we're going to break the huddle with the right number of people.
Yeah, unless we get a delay.
That's always a possibility, as we have a 2nd and 11 with 4.5 minutes to go here in the game. Bach comes out under center, same straight I formation, nothing too new here. Pitch out to Love, nothing too new there either. As Love gets a little bit of a crease and he moves up for a pickup of about 6, John. It's going to be 3rd and 5 with the ball on the 35-yard line of Sweetwater. And the question is here: will we run the next 4 minutes out, or do we score with time left on the clock?
Yeah.
And we'll just have to find out, won't we? It's 3:55 and ticking. As Alex Soul checks into the game. Third and 5. Handoff goes inside to Birchfield, the fullback, and he is going to surge forward and come up, I believe, about a half yard short of the first down. And I don't think there's much doubt here on 4th and very short that Alcoa will just run another play. Shane Franklin checking back into the game.
Halftime score, Planner 7, Hope 6.
Jacob Richardson goes back in. He'll be at the tailback position. Malik Love checks out. Straight I formation. Birchfield and Love back behind. And
first down.
Yep, first down, not by much, but enough. The spot is over on the other side of the 30, and that's going to be a 1st and 10 Alcoa. As the official calls for the chains to move, and the clock is ticking away here. And just take a chance to mention here, John, we'll be right back here again next week.
Yep, still don't know who we're going to play, though.
Not sure.
I'll tell you what, we knew that was going to be a dogfight down there at Loudon tonight, and it's turning out to be one.
Yeah.
So
we're going to we'll be right back here at 7 o'clock. All the same things that apply to tonight apply to next, no passes, 7 o'clock. Here we go with a straight I formation. Just a little over 2 minutes to go in this game. And the first back through is Birchfield. He gets the handoff. And
good run.
He has a good run there as he takes 2 tacklers with him an extra 2 or 3 yards. So
Birchfield carries, run down to the 26, second down.
Tyler Bailey. I'm sure he's been in before, but I'm just catching his number now.
Well, they're just shuttling them in and out now.
So
it's like a hockey.
Yeah.
Which hockey season started?
Who cares?
We got something to do tomorrow night now.
I'm glad you do. 'Cause hockey season, you might as well tell me. I don't know. I don't want. I better not say anything. I get in trouble somewhere. So.
Bach takes the snap, toss, sweep to Love, or no, that's
Catches.
not Love. Who is that?
That is Quan Wilson with the ball there, and he catches a little crease, and he runs for about, I'm going to say 6 there, John.
Keep your feet, Quan.
Yep. He did a good job of waiting for the hole to open up, you know. When he saw the crease, then he went straight forward, and he did do a little slipping and sliding there, but it's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 with 1:03 to go here in the game. So the question now really is, does Alcoa score again, or does the clock just run out? And golly, I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? Inside handoff goes to Birchfield, and Birchfield's going to go straight forward. He's going to get the first down, John, so that's going to guarantee that Alcoa will have possession of the ball till the end of the game, as we're down to 40 seconds and ticking, and I think we will see one more play run, maybe. And I would not bet on any more than that. So Corey Bach looking to the sideline. He gets the signal in. And who knows, we may get a delay of game here before we actually run the last play of the game. I think we're just not going to run another play, John. And they're not going to call the delay. They're going to let it run out. And that's the end of the game. Alcoa 49. Sweetwater 0, and John, Alcoa just doing everything they needed to or wanted to tonight.
Yeah.
Not much more to say about it. I'm just going to summarize the night by saying I believe, with the exception of this last possession, Alcoa scored a touchdown on every one of their possessions, ate up the entire 3rd quarter with one possession, and ate up almost the entire 4th quarter with another possession. So doing what they had to. Once again, we'd like to thank Champion Fence for stepping up and being a sponsor tonight. Joe and Marty Keefe, 379-5200, and TV Station 3, Tornado TV, Alcoa Public Schools TV, and like I said, if you want to support them and you see me and John out in public somewhere, you can give us $1, maybe $2, and we'll make sure it stays in Blount County.
Tree Fitty.
Tree Fitty. You know, and if enough of you do it, we can go to the bread of heaven and eat next week. But okay. Guys, there's not a heck of a lot to say about this game other than it's over and it's early, and we just
got off to a rousing start whenever Sweetwater just dropped the opening kickoff on the ground.
I mean, it's just like, if ever there was an omen of things to come, that was it. I mean, then they fumbled on the first play the next time.
But I'll tell you what, Sweetwater came a long way from where they were last year. They really have, and it's good to see Richie come back up and lead his charges out here on the field in the playoffs.
What we can hope for is maybe we'll see him again next year. Maybe it'll be the 2nd round.
Yeah.
That would be good.
They're going to get better. They got a lot of young kids.
A lot of young players, and they'll be coming along. So not much else to say here, John. We're just going to say that this is Lane Gearhart for John Morgan saying thank you very much for joining us tonight, and we will see you next week when we play somebody.
Yeah, it's either going to be they're still tied up, Loudon and Howard, and we'll see what happens there. But also, big Veterans Day celebration. Bring your American flags, and the red out is in effect for next week. The maroon, wear your maroon here to the ballpark. The teams will be wearing the all maroon uniforms next week.
Okay,
so.
Good enough. We look forward to seeing you all out here then. And for John Morgan, this is Lane Gearhart saying a good night.